Hi everyone, this video is a walkthrough tutorial of our home bakery planner spreadsheet. This is one of our fan favorite spreadsheets and it has been used by hundreds of home bakers around the world. If you are interested in using this template, I will leave a link below in the description so you can learn more about it. I hope you enjoy. Alright, to start using the spreadsheet, you first want to go to the Start tab. This is a tab where you're going to fill out the start, month, and year of the spreadsheet. This spreadsheet can be used for 12 months at a time. To fill out the start, month, and year, double-click this white box and select any day from the month that you want to start in. So for example, if I wanted to start in September 2023, I could click any date within that month. If you wanted to start, for example, in January, you can go to the January month and click any date. Once you do this, you're ready to use all the other tabs. The next tab is the Dashboard tab. This tab is completely automated, except for the fact that there is a drop-down here that you can change the month with. Everything else is automatically calculated. Here's an example of what this tab looks like when it is more filled out with data. And as you can see, you can select the drop-down here and change it to view the stats of any month that you want. The next tab at the bottom is the Inventory Log tab. The next tab is the Inventory Log tab. Now you can use this tab to track anything that you want. You can use it to track your inventory of your products, or you can use it to track the inventory of the materials that you use to create your products. Again, it's completely up to you. Now on this tab, you can also see some examples of the asterisk signs in some of the columns. Remember that if you do see that sign, that it's important that you do fill out those columns. If there's not that sign, it means that those columns are not mandatory to fill out. But again, completely up to you. You can also see this beige column right here, which means that this column is completely automated. All the numbers will automatically appear here, so there's no need to type anything into these cells. You can also see that this column here is beige too, and the reason for this is that the status will automatically calculate. So here's what I mean. I'm going to put 3 items in. So here's how this works. When you have a quantity of 0, out of stock is going to automatically appear as the status. When you have a current quantity that is less than the restock quantity, the status will appear low stock. And when you have a current quantity that is greater than the restock quantity, it will say in stock. This will help you to automatically see which items you need to restock, which ones are out of stock, and all that sort of information. The numbers up here will also automatically populate, as well as on the dashboard, the current inventory chart will automatically appear. You can add the sale price of each item here to get an automatic calculation of the inventory value that you have. So here's an example of what that would look like. And as you can see here, the total value will automatically calculate. The next tab is the Menu Items tab. While there are no asterisks on this tab, I do think it's pretty important that you fill out a majority of these columns, especially the item name and the sale price. Here's an example of how you can add a menu item. So for example, let's say you want to do cookies. You can add the menu item name here. Then you can add the number of servings that you sell with each product. So for example, maybe you sell 6 cookies per product. Next, you can add the sale price. So maybe I sell those 6 cookies for $6. The next is the status. Now this is a drop down. Any column that has these little triangles on the right side means that it's a drop down. So to access the drop down, just click that triangle and the drop down will appear and you can select either one. Now you can select either active or inactive for a menu item. For example, maybe you have seasonal items that are inactive for part of the year. That's where you could use the inactive. So I'm going to set active for this. Next, you can add the cost per product. If you don't know the cost per product, we do have an amazing cost calculator page later on in the spreadsheet. It's called the Recipe Cost tab, and that will help you to calculate the cost per product. For example, I'm just going to say that it costs $1.20 per product. The next columns are automatically calculated. You can see the profit per sale, and then you can add a discount up here to see the sale price after discount, the discount in dollars, and the profit after discount. If I added a 20% discount, if I were adding a sale, I could see that the price after the discount would be $4.80. The discount would take $1.20 off, and the profit after the discount would then be $3.60. These columns over here are also optional, but they're great if you have seasonal menu items. So for example, say I only sell my cookies in fall, I can add that here, and then I can also add the start date. So let's say October 1st. Any dates that you add in here will then also be added to the dashboard tab under upcoming product releases. So you can see the cookie name and then the start date. The next tab is the active menu tab. This is a fully automated tab, and how it populates is based on any items that are marked as active. So for example, I'm going to add 2 more items, and I'm going to set one as inactive and one as active. On the active menu tab, you'll only see the menu items that are marked as active. You can also simulate discounts here. So for example, maybe I wanted to see what it would look like if I did a 50% off discount, and then you can see the updated sales price. The next tab is the order log tab. This is the tab where you can add in the information for any of the orders that you get. So here you can see that you can add the customer name. So I'll add my name here. You can add the phone number, the address, the order date, which you can add by double-clicking the cell and selecting the date from the calendar. You can add the order description, any accommodations that are necessary. You can add the revenue for the sale. So for example, maybe I sold $15 worth of things. You can add the revenue in there, and the total will also automatically calculate here. Next, you can add a due date for the order, which you can also add by double-clicking the cell and selecting the date from the calendar. You can add the order status. You can add payment method information, payment status information, delivery and pickup information. So for example, maybe I'm going to do pickup on the 28th at 8 o'clock a.m. And then you can also track the delivery status here. Once an order is checked off as delivered, it will highlight here to show that it's done. That way you can see which orders have been delivered, and you can also see which ones have not been delivered yet. And here's an example of what the order log might look like when you have more orders filled in and certain ones checked off as delivered and some not as delivered. Information on the order tab will also automatically update in the dashboard tab. You can see orders by month, you can see monthly breakdown. So let's check out September. You can see updates automatically when you select from the drop down. You can see your upcoming orders here, and you can also see your order status here. As you add more orders and have different statuses, you'll be able to see which ones are not started, in progress, and completed. It's also important to note that for your first month in this chart, it's just going to appear as a dot up here, but as you add more data for other months, the lines will start to appear. The next tab is the Sale Planner tab, where you can easily plan out different sales that you have planned. So for example, maybe you have a Black Friday sale where you want to offer 40% off, and you're going to start it on November 24th. Again, if you go back to the dashboard, that will now appear in your upcoming sales box. The next tab is the Event Planner tab. This is where you can fill out any details for any events that you are going to be attending. You can add the event name, start date, which you can do by double-clicking the cell and selecting from the calendar, location, contact name, contact information, products and inventory needed, preparation, and any other notes. The next tab is a to-do list tab, where you can add in any tasks that you need to do and check them off when they're done. So let's add a couple tasks here. And as you can see, as you check them off, this progress bar for each chart will update, and also the overall progress will also update. It's important to note that the charts will appear for each list until tasks are added. So for example, you can see when I add a task in here, the chart will appear. You can also change the names of any of these lists if you want to. The next tab is the Yearly Calendar tab. This tab contains 12 calendars, one for each month that you will be tracking. In each month, you can add in any tasks for each day. And checkboxes will appear next to them, and you can cross out the tasks when they're done. You can see today's date in the upper right-hand corner, and you can also jump to any month. So for example, say I wanted to jump to August, I can click in August month, then click this jump button, and jump to that month super easily. The next tab is the Recipe Cost tab. This is a very comprehensive tab, and we have extremely detailed instructions on the How to Use page on how to use it, so I'm not going to go super in-depth in this video tutorial. However, if you do have any questions at all, please reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you. The Price Comparison tab is also very similar to the Recipe Cost tab in its features, which we do go through more in depth in the How to Use tab. If you read that tab, I think it will be very straightforward, and it'll be easy for you to use. At the very end, you'll notice that there are two tabs labeled blank recipe cost and blank price comparison tab. The reason that we do this is because it would be a hassle for you to erase all the details that you add into the recipe cost tab and the price comparison tab. So our way around that is you can make copies of these tabs. To do that, just right-click on the tab and then click Duplicate. Once it makes a copy, you'll have a brand new version of the Recipe Cost tab that you can use good as new. You can double-click the name to rename the tab, so maybe you want to name it Cookies or anything that you want, and then it's up to you whether or not you want to keep or delete the old tabs. If you choose to delete them, you can just right-click on the tab and click Delete, and then OK, and the tab will be gone. These tabs are locked, so you can't edit them to ensure that they stay empty, which will be really helpful for you whenever you're making copy. So that is it for the tutorial on how to use the Home Bakery Business Planner spreadsheet. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you out.